Hello everybody, I am Saberwolf and I'm joined by the Swans. How you doing today, bud?
It's racing day. It's always a good day here for a Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide race, and we've got a spicy one for you. You see what I did there, Saberwolf?
Oh, it's a very spicy one because we do have a spicy chicken pod here coming up. But first, we actually have a full week's worth of racing for you all here. We actually have on Wednesday the Ultras pod. That's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern, March 23rd. That's actually going to be on the Speed Gamers channel. So we got that one for you. And then on Thursday, the next day, I believe this is going to be during our usual Worlds Collide time slot. That's going to be 8 p.m. Thursday, March 24th, the Inferno pod. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be great to see these round 4 races go down. We've whittled our racers down to 3 per pod. We started at 5 per pod. So in this tournament, you don't have to be first. You just can't be last. And unfortunately, one of these 3 runners you see on screen will no longer be with us in racing spirit, of course, obviously, come the end of this particular race. The flag settings are the same as they were in round 3. But just to go over them briefly a little bit here, we're looking for 6 characters and 9 espers. We start off with 3 characters. As you see over on Sid's screen, you could get a Kefka's Tower skip if you get either 9 characters or 12 espers. Setting the Zozo clock will get you a Dragoon set. Buying the Tizen Thief will add 10 boss levels to any boss that you fight. Getting the... excuse me, no, that's the 10 extra Kefka levels, rather. The auction house is the... Nope, I had it right the first time. The Tizen Thief is 10 extra boss levels. The auction house is 10 extra Kefka levels.
Yep, so no buying your way at the auction through this seed. You're going to get penalized by Kefka for doing that.
Yeah, sometimes it might be worth it to save a minute only to have to get an extra 30 seconds because the ending fights are a little harder, but we'll see what these runners decide to do. We have 5,000 starting gold instead of 10,000 starting gold like in rounds 1 and 2, and our characters are not as swole as they were in the first 2 rounds. They are within 75 and 125% of vanilla character stats, so we'll see what happens here, and we will have a good race no matter what. Because these runners have been very close to one another through the first 3 rounds. Each one of them, I think, bagged a win in this particular pod, so it'll be interesting to see which one of these former first-place finishers will come out on top this go-around.
Yeah, these guys have been definitely going back and forth throughout the entire series, so this is going to be fun. I mean, I think this is the 3rd race I've done with these guys. So yeah, I can't wait. That's for darn sure.
Yep, and as always, chat, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in there. One of us may be able to answer it, or somebody else in the chat might be able to. And also let us know if there's any audio or technical issues from your end. This is Saberwolf's first time restreaming, so big thank you to Saberwolf for stepping up to the plate here. And we'll have a good race and hopefully be able to iron anything out. I think you want exclamation quit.
Exclamation quit, my bad. I'm doing \command everything, so here we go. Hey,
Yep.
10-second flag is up. We are ready to go.
All right. So count it down for us, chat. 3, 2, 1, and we are going to be starting go, go, go. Speaking of go, go, I believe we'll find go-go when somebody hits new game.
Alrighty. Yeah, this is about 10 seconds or so behind our racers. So there we go. We're off and running now. Like a something heard of. Basset Hounds.
Yeah, so we get Go-Go, we get Realm, we get Setzer to start off. So it'll be interesting to see where our runners go. Setzer opens up 3 different checks. Go-Go 1 check and Realm 2 checks. we could see the Zone Eater Cave first, but it doesn't look like that's what's happening. Sid and Dr. DT both going to Narsh. Meanwhile, Jones is on his way to the Kolingen Inn, where it's a free check for Setzer's pickup. We're going to see who's going to be sipping some coffee. It is a merchant, and that is the Tarato Magicite. So first one off the board. With Jones, he's our first runner that has some progression in this seed.
And for a minute there on Sid and Dr. TT's screen, I saw two Go-Go's going together on the same screen. I had to double check my stream because it's my first time to see if I didn't double up the restream. But no, Sid and Dr. TT are different people. So I actually scared myself there for a second. But yeah, we're doing some item shopping here in Narsh for Sid and Dr. DT. Not really finding too much. I got the dried meat in case we come along Gao here in a bit.
Yeah, we need to have the meats just in case we decide to get hungry. Jones is heading over to South Figaro, which is where I believe Sid and Dr. DT will eventually wind up. A Thunder Shield out of a random cargo crate. What are they shipping to South Figaro? Somebody better check the docks.
Yeah, and we also got earrings in the Narsh relic shop. Those are always very popular to have.
I think there's a dragon horn in there too.
Ooh, and an Atma weapon.
There's some boots in South Figaro and a Genji glove. So we already have Dragoon possible strats here between the dragon horn in World of Balance Narsh and the Dragoon boots in World of Balance South Figaro. Jones is going to pick up those boots, even though he doesn't know that there's a horn. Now, if we didn't find the boots and horn for sale, we could certainly set the clock at Zozo to get ourselves those. Am I in the wrong tracking room? Give me 1 second here. And,
no, you're in the right one, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just have it printed out differently on my OBS.
You're fine.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
No, but the thing is about this is if we can find some fixed dice, that is, we got the ultimate jumper for randomizer with Setzer with a fixed dice full jump set because he can equip them. So we'll have to look for see if we got the full combo.
Yep, the best time to dice is to jump with them and not to throw them. But we'll see if we get fixed dice. The equipment in this seed is original plus some percent, and there's an experience egg in South Figaro as well.
Wow.
So, you're welcome, runners, for rolling the seed.
Yeah, Swans did roll this seed, so kudos to him for this, for them, for you. And yeah, I mean, this could be a fast seed. I mean, if we can get this, I mean, obviously that's going to be one of the first towns you're going to go to. So, because everybody pillages South Figaro. So this should be a pretty fast seed if that's the case. I mean...
Yeah, South Figaro has a lot of chests on the exterior portion and a lot of chests down in the interior portions behind the bookshelf of the rich lady. The chests are different on the exterior portion of South Figaro in the World of Ruin. With all the stuff we've already found, Atlas Armlet, ribbon, if we need it later to sell, we might not see our runners go to the World of Ruin, South Figaro, because sometimes we'll do that because it's easy to flip back and forth between worlds here. Another free set of Dragoon boots down in the basement too.
Oh, you kidding me? So, okay, so Sid... Looks like Sid's contemplating things or just writing down some notes here, as Dr. DT is also the only one that knows of the Dragon Horn in Dragon Boots combo. I think Sid definitely wrote down the notes saying, oh, Dragon Boots, I'm going to write this down in your side notes. That's not cheating. You can take notes as you go along because there's a lot of towns, there's a lot of places. You're going to forget where things are, so...
Yeah, nothing is worse than going, where was that thing again? And then flying to 5 different towns and then saying, you know what, I've already wasted too much time. Yep. Don't want to do that. So Jones hopping over to the World of Ruin. Let's see if he heads into South Figaro or if he goes all the way to Zone Eater. No, it looks like he's going to double up on our South Figaro trip. Now, if we had Edgar in the party and if he was at the head of the party, all of these shops would be half off. So what I like to usually do, and some runners will do, is wait to loot ruined South Figaro until they maybe get Edgar. But Jones is just picking stuff out of boxes there, force armor, and is going to see what else is in the shops here.
Dr.
Nothing
Jones.
much.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, he's not much there, yeah.
Sid going for this out-of-the-way barrel, trying to hope that there's something in here that the other runners will never get. It's a coin toss, which is something you could sell for some extra coin, and that's pretty much about it. I didn't actually see what abilities our characters had to start off with.
No, I didn't either.
Can... Yeah,
oh, no, he's trapped! There he goes.
Go-Go could actually use any ability that is within our team if you go to the status menu. So we've got health and morph, I'm being told from the chat. So morph is very situational. Health is okay in the beginning of the seed and it tails off towards the end because it's just about a cure 2. It's too bad Go-Go cannot use either health or morph.
Yeah, that is... You can only use the base ones except for Terra. You cannot use... you can only use Tools, Blitz, like that, but he cannot use Terra Special, and he cannot use Bannon Special, so... I don't think he can use Shock either.
Or Shock,
so,
yeah. You can't equip Shock to Go-Go's menu, but you certainly can mimic it, and unfortunately we don't have that either. What's in Torado? Strength +2 and the Doom spell. So I don't know what our end game builds are going to be like. We know we have one Dragoon at least, so it looks like that's going to be Setzer and Go-Go are going to be our 2 Dragoons. It just depends on what they get to wear. And who gets to swing that Atma weapon. It won't be viable right away, but certainly towards the end of the seed. Partisan can Go-Go can jump with the Partisan, which is the 3rd best lance in the game, so why not?
Yeah, I saw that Partisan that was picked up by Dr. DT and Jones, so it is there. But search the skies for Dr. Jones here. He's going to do the... it's Cranes, so that's kind of awkward, how they're both on the same side.
Yeah, so Search the Sky is always a regular heads-up fight. Cranes is normally a pincer fight. And there's some Super Balls that Jones found, so Go-Go can mimic the Super Balls, and you see it hitting the Crane for... one Crane for a lot of damage, the other Crane for not as much. Super Balls will do a random amount of damage on a multiple of 256 to a random amount of targets. It could be one or it could be none. And you see Jones taking advantage of Go-Go's mimic here with the Super Balls. And
there we go.
That's good. Niles and Frazier, the Cranes down. And we'll see what the reward is here.
We did learn Bolt 2 there because of the Thunder Shield, and that's an Esper. Tritalk. Cool. Some interesting with Torado and Tritalk. You don't really see those used in their summons too much. But we'll have to see what they have for spells here. Let's... Torado is Death and Cure and... Oh, Wild Wind. So, yeah, interesting story before we got on air here.
Cure and Whirlwind.
Yeah, so Sid was actually having tornado warnings in effect in his area. So, luckily they passed on, so we don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, Wild Wind, that just fits the theme of this match today. And Sid did find a tiger mask inside the barrel between the weapons and item shop inside of Selfikro. It's good for stats. And there's a cat hood for sale on Dr. DT screen.
It looks like Jones is dipping into an early dragon here. I don't know if he restocked on Super Balls beforehand, but it is the Storm Dragon.
We'll do that wind, is rough.
More wind stuff, and on level 3, this Go-Go with 1 HP and a dream here. Yeah, going back to Tritalk, people don't use Tritalk normally as a summons because Tritalk summons is called Tri-Dazer, and it does all of ice, fire, and thunder damage. So if your boss is immune to one of them, then it nullifies one of them. By the way, Valiant Knives in World of Ruin Culligan. So
yeah, 60,000. That's going to be a while for that, unless you get the cat hood working. But yeah, 11,000 damage from 2 Super Balls. That'll take care of the dragon real quick. It looks like it was a Genji armor out of that because I did not see that come out of a chest or anything. As Dr. DT switches over to World of Ruin. Looks like he's going to do the Go-Go. Gets swallowed up by Go-Go check here.
Yeah, the Zone Eater check is in the World of Ruin. You got to get sucked up by the Zone Eater, so it's always best to just bring one character. It makes this go a heck of a lot faster here. Yeah, showing off the power of the Super Balls, Jones, very early on in this particular seed. He's already got decent levels from the Dragon, and and he's got 2 pieces of Magicite with it, and he's heading into World of Ruin Jador for Bowser's Mansion. We'll show you how much longer it takes for Sid to get engulfed, because he took 3 party members into this versus 1.
Well, I mean, you have to take the time to like go to the person, take the characters out, and then reset the character stuff. So, I mean, okay, using Demi, that definitely is not a wash now. So it is going to take a minute.
Yep. So Torado is an Earth Esper. So there's not a lot of bosses that are weak to Earth, and usually if they are, they're weak to something else that you normally have. So that's why we don't normally see it. And then Tritok, if the boss absorbs either fire or ice or thunder, it won't work. So not really a great summons here. And multi-summons is not on in this flag set. Get back in. Woof. That was a close one for Dr. DT there.
Well, we did stop at the first chest, so we had a little extra time to get out of there. But that's an IO on Jones's screen. He's going to nope out of that one, even though he got the dragon levels and a stay at the inn in town. He's going to nope out of that one. That is a tough battle, especially if we don't have any... Well, he did have Thunder... He did have Bolt 2. I mean, he could have tried it. I mean, you don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be a good rage if I already had a rage user. IO uses the Flare Star spell, so it's good for a rage, but it's better to just run away at this point here, as we've got dueling Zone Eaters here from both Dr. DT and Sid. Dr. DT checking that chest before the reward, leaving us all on the edges of our feet, and it's Edgar.
Hey!
So Dr. DT will get that discount double check that you like to call it
yes.
for the World of Ruin.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Now, that's actually important because we do have those Dragon Boots and stuff that's available, so that will be helpful because those Dragon Boots are now discounted. And Dr. D... Okay. Wow. Okay, you have to play this game a lot to know where to stop right there.
Yeah. We did start with 2 warp stones, so you could warp out of here. I'm not sure why he's walking back. Neither one of our runners got thrown off of the bridge, so maybe he wants the chests under the bridge. Is he a Red Hot Chili Pepper? I'm not quite sure. Meanwhile, we have Ultros 2 on Jones's screen.
Could not get the backside chest on Dr. DT there, but he gets the 2 bottom chests and Force Armor and Genji Helmet. Not bad.
Okay, those are 2 top tier items that you might get from checks down in there. That was definitely worth walking instead. Meanwhile, let's see what's at Bowser's Mansion. It's a ghost, so it's not a character.
Nope, and that was Ultros number 2 there for that fight.
In case you missed it.
Yep, and that's another Esper, Alexander.
All right, so Jones is just picking up the shards here.
Ooh, Ice 2, Cure 3. There we go. Now I'm going to pass on the auction house because, again, that is going to put added levels to Kefka, so trying to avoid that a little bit. More Super Balls if you're interested.
Yeah, so for the auction house, you're going to want to buy at least the $50,000 item, because then it removes it from the pool, and you're more likely to get one of the 2 potential Espers. I don't know if he's got $50,000 worth of stuff. The ribbon will probably sell for $10,000, but I didn't see any other high-ticket items there. So maybe he comes back later, maybe not. But it looks like he's heading up towards Daryl's tomb. Sid, I don't know if he forgot his Moogle Charm or if this is on purpose here, but he's taking a grind fight.
It is on purpose. He's actually in the South Figaro cave by the spring. Oof. So he is taking this on purpose. I don't think he was expecting this hard of a fight, though. But the other thing to note is that because we have Edgar, we actually have a natural jumper with those boots in the horn. Because he does use those spears and partisans like that, which does have an extra little boost of damage when you do jump with them. So, yeah. It looks like Jones is getting the extra chest, which happens to be empty this time around.
Yeah, Vector, in spite of the fact that it looks like one enemy, it's actually a bunch of enemies stacked on top of one another. It's very strange. It's very odd. But hopefully Sid can make it through this fight and level up a little bit. Nobody likes to be on level 3 for a while. Really, the only thing you could do on level 3 that Jones showed off was throw Super Balls, because it doesn't matter what your level is. They always do a multiple of 256. And it looks like Dr. DT is selling things for the cat hood, which is a smart play. The cat hood is a helmet that will allow you to get the maximum amount of gold in every fight you win. So you might as well dump all the money that you have in your pocket because you'll get a lot more back the next time around.
And Realm is a character that uses it naturally, I believe. And Realm with health is actually not that bad. I mean, natural magic power based characters, that's going to be pretty decent for the Cure 2, which is about what health is going to be. So that shouldn't be too bad to go all the way through the rest of the game with. But we do see Cure 3 available from the Alexander Esper, so that's going to help you out till you get to that point and actually learn that spell.
Yeah, so this fight here that Sid's got is... Oof.
Yeah, it's
when enemies throw stuff at you, it's never fun. But if he gets past this, he'll get a lot of gold for this fight. Yep. Yeah, I would... Yep. He's getting things thrown at him here. Come on, run, Setzer.
No, run faster.
Like you've never run before.
Oh, geez, a guardian just got thrown. Ah! Setzer, run!
He escapes just barely.
Oh, he's blowing
alive.
a warp stone. Oh, man.
Put that Moogle charm on right now.
Well, he's standing right next to the spring, so he should be good anyways. There you go.
Yeah.
Whew.
We have Dataluma in Daryl's tomb. Dataluma is actually weak to poison because most human characters in this game are weak to poison, believe it or not.
Including Kefka. At least the early stages of Kefka.
The Kefka at Narsh Kefka. Not final Kefka is not immune to poison. That just shows his transformation from human to whatever the hell Kefka is at the end of this game. So Jones shouldn't have a problem here with Dataluma. Unless you let him get too many turns, then he starts throwing things at you. It is an imp sprite for Sid at Usper Mountain, so this will not be a character. And that's Dataluma done. What's the monster in a box here at Narsh? We don't know. There's a guy blocking Dr. DT.
The NPCs are wrecking havoc with the body blocks today as Jones finally gets to the Dataluma fight for the Phoenix Espers. That's Esper number 4 for Jones. Still haven't found the character yet. Still haven't found that Edgar, so he's got to go into the belly of the beast here probably next. I would think, no, he's going to World of Balance.
Yeah, his two choices, I think, are Zone Eater and Esper Mountain, right? He's exhausted the other options for characters, except for Kefka at Narsh. I think, man, none of our runners have seen that, so... and it's Ultros 1 for Sid.
Yeah, he's laying down the tentacles, though, as Goku goes down.
Yeah, you could tell it's Ultros 1, because there are no tentacles on the sprite on the screen. However, you still use the tentacles move as his offensive attack. But this one shouldn't be too difficult here.
I'm confused on that heal from Realm. It didn't fully heal Go-Go. That was kind of weird.
I think Go-Go's still on level 3, because when Sid took that grind fight, Go-Go did not survive it.
Okay, I was going to confuse there. I'm like, she healed for over 200. Why does he only have 50 HP?
Yeah, that's exactly why. Go-Go is twitching on the ground, I guess.
Yeah, he's taking the dirt nap. Oh, he does not going to get any levels for that either.
Yep, it is the Carbuncle Esper, and Jones is following Sid right afterwards, so he'll get his Carbuncle Esper, and blinked and you missed it. Dr. DT took down the cranes at the Search the Sky spot, so
You're actually slightly ahead of me, so...
Yep.
You're slightly ahead of me, so that's fine.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oopsie.
You're fine. No spoilers yet.
Nope.
I'm just being lagged behind because of all the extra streaming I'm doing here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Soon. Computer Spade 4. Soon. It'll be another week.
My numbers must have been off. I missed when Dr. DT and picked up the Esper at the Culligan Inn, so let's mark that down. So yeah, because Sid did find the Valiant Knives for sale in the World of Ruin, Culligan Inn. So
correct.
Maybe he'll go back for those at some point. We know Locke can equip them in vanilla. I don't know who can equip them in this seed. Sid is down in the tomb, and it's a Moogle with a band of thieves.
Hey, you know, Mog is the leader of the group. I mean, you play some other Final Fantasy games, they actually listen to Mog, so I don't blame him here. And that's another, again, that is another jumper, kind of character. He does use spears also, so...
Meanwhile, the Devils go over on Jones's screen with 666 HP.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so let's see how many times he gets thrown off the bridge. So far, we've got 0 throw-offs.
What?
Wow,
How?
that was
Oh,
super
what?
duper. Oh no! I had to go. I had to go and say it, didn't I?
He tempted fate too many times there.
Yeah. He will get the Genji helmet and the Force armor and Dragon Horn and Red Cap down in a force shield and a Nutkin suit. That was a loaded engine room treasure right there.
Yeah, and it's like Doctor's like, oh, I'm going more for more.
Yeah. Yep.
It's Zephyr Cape. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Jones goes down again.
As Lizer Bean points out, this is Final Fantasy 666.
Oh, jeez.
Meanwhile, Sid is going to read the tomb, find that Phoenix is going to be there, and he will have to fight his Dataluma. Oh, that's 0 for 3 for Jones. All right, Jones has given us the bridge tosses we all knew we wanted, but didn't really know we wanted.
It's because he's doing it last. That's why.
Yeah.
Like the Doctor's like, you made us wait this long. Oh, he's just go for extra one? No, he's going to go extra one.
No. It's Guardian on the bed of Doom pasta there.
That's just weird.
Yeah, you hate to see a hard boss here because walking all the way back out of this check is so super annoying. Jones taking it easy on the ceiling crushes based on his luck on the bridge.
Yeah, but
But Dr. DT has super balls, so we're okay here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oof. See you later, Setzer. Diffuser is a thunder elemental spell, so that's why Realm with the Thunder Shield got healed from it. And there goes Guardian. That was not a great Super Ball, or was that... I think that was Edgar coming down off of the jump.
No, that was Edgar coming off the jump. Realm actually used Bolt for 2,000, but Gogo used the Super Ball for over 5,000 damage. So, that's what happened there. Control on Mog. Not a great ability.
That's not something you want.
Yeah, but you want to use it over Setzer, as Sid's going to pop a Torado Esper here. Just for some damage, as he's going to get smashed in the face with Dirks. Double throw! Hello!
Yeah, the longer this fight goes on, the more annoying it gets, because, Dataluma calls up his homies and is like, yeah, I got a problem. Can you come help me out? And they just come to his rescue, and it's not fun.
So W.R. Jones getting there. Edgar now just resetting some Esper learning here. Life 2 available also to them on the Carbuncle. That's going to be pretty good. Man, Sid's having a hard time with this one. Summoning Bahamut. Okay.
Hey, Bahamut is cast Sunflare, one of the best.
There you go.
One of the best Esper summons in the game. So we'll take that. I can dig that.
Okay, yeah, Dr. DT getting that discount Edgar for the items here. I don't think he's checked the throne yet to see what's up there. We got some Shuriken and Drill, so it looks like tools and throw characters might be on the board here.
The throne was an Esper. I didn't catch which one it was, though.
Okay. I saw a bunch of new spells I hadn't seen before. It's another more Life 2 and stuff, so definitely can res people. And as we're going to go to our first new area, Ancient Castle, which does have a dragon in it, so we'll see if Dr. DT pops that dragon, as Jones is not far behind them. Is going to be going to that Guardian here in a second.
Oh, that's right. He's on his way in, not his way out. And it looks like Sid might be doing the Zozo clock here.
Okay, so this is going to be a free set of Dragoon gear, which includes also an Aura Spear or a Pearl Spear, and then maybe another spear? I don't remember. I have yet to figure out how the heck to do this thing.
I could basically explain it to you. So There's that conga line that everybody hates. There are 5 NPCs that tell you a time in it. It's either the hours, the minutes, or the seconds. So you write those down, and those times cannot be what the clock is. So we'll see Sid doing the conga line check here. I should have done this the other way. That's not one of the people that you talk to. So here's the conga line. There's 7 NPCs in this conga line. There's 2 people, those 2 people that don't give you a time. There's 5 others that do give you a time. Write these times down because that's what the clock can't be. Then there are 2 other NPCs in the room after this. One of them tells you what his watch hand is pointing at. That's a lie, so it can't be that time. And the other one tells you whether or not a minute, second, hour is divisible by a certain number or not. And that's a lie as well, obviously.
There's one that tells the truth, right? Though there's the one that tells the truth.
So the clock always tells the truth. That's in the back build, the very back building.
The first thing he did. Okay.
No, that was the second thing he did. That's in the back left-hand building. The cafe guy also lies. So you pop into the cafe. There's a guy behind the bar. He lies. This guy right here, that's going to be behind this bar, he's also lying. And there's another dude, another experience egg. Wow. So he said the hour hand of his watch is pointing at 2. So you know that the clock cannot be 2 hours. So that's a lie. So then he goes forward up here, and this dude on the left says the hours, they're divisible by 4. That's a lie. So the hours are not divisible by 4.
And
so that means you could rule out 4 and 8 and 12 and a Yeti down in down in the ancient castle.
Yeah, another one another character you really don't want to see is we have an ice dragon. This is his first one, so there's not a 10 level boost to their dragons. Sid's the only one that's done a dragon. Sorry, Jones is the one that's done a dragon so far. So, as that Tri-Touch just healed the dragon for 700 HP, and he's going to re-heal him again for another 700 HP.
Yep, so now Sid can go set the clock based on process of elimination. So it's the cafe guy, the clock is all the way in the top left building. That clock always tells the truth. The 5 guys in the conga line, and those other 2 guys up on that apartment building.
Well, you know it's not 6 because the person said at 6 o'clock it's time to go home, so it must be 8 or 10.
It could either be 8. It could be 8 or 10 because we saw 2. We saw divisible by 4, so it can't be 4 or 8 or 12. So it's got to be 6 or 10.
Hey.
I wasn't keeping. It's hard to keep track. I was not keeping track.
So it was 10. I believe it was 1050 something, 1050-20.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was.
Yeah. So basically,
Wing Edge.
What I like to do is I like to just write it down because otherwise I will forget. It's kind of hard to do without writing it down. I find anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if it might be easy for other people, but for me, I find I have to write it all down.
I want to make a note. One thing to notice, Sid, all of Sid's characters are actually in the front row, which is interesting. Don't really see a lot of people push your characters in the back row for more defense because you're using other things than just swinging a sword, but Sid has all of their characters in the front row. So, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so they'll take twice as much physical damage, but they'll also deal out twice as much physical damage. However, I don't think any of his characters are doing physical attacks, right? And Katana Soul is in the Monster in a Box for Dr. DT in Ancient Castle.
Also,
in the Ancient Cave, rather.
Yeah, in the Ancient Cave going to the Ancient Castle, there was also a Rage Ring, which is going to be good for the Yeti when you go find him. So,
Yep. You could also put it on other members, and it will give nullification to lightning, and it will allow you to absorb fire.
Oof.
So, that's a dead go again.
Yeah.
It'll give you +5 strength as well. So it's a very good relic because it gives you 2 different elemental immunities, if you will. It will absorb fire and it will nullify out lightning. Plus, it gives you +5 strength, which is never bad on a, say, jumper. So, what is a Dragoon set? So, a Dragoon set is Dragon Boots, a Dragon Horn, and one top tier lance. So, it's either an Aura Lance, a Pearl Lance, or a Partisan. So, those are the top 3 lances. Since Edgar or Mog can equip any lance, it's a good idea to go get your Dragoon set because you know that you have an endgame Edgar or Mog build immediately right away.
And since if you are going to go for the Edgar Mog dual jumpers, because we have all those stuff available for them, it might be important to put your experience egg and maybe some plus 50 HP espers on the 2 characters going to be in the ground, because they're going to be the ones taking all the hits here, because the other 2 are going to be up in the air the whole time. So Realm is going to be taking a beating here, I think, unfortunately. And whoever's going to be paired with Realm, obviously Realm's going to be part of the main party. So
yeah, unfortunately, we got 2 frozen people on Jones's on screen. The only way you could unfreeze is to either wait for them to unfreeze or hit them with some fire magic. And since the Yeti is not doing any fire magic, it's all up to Realm. I don't know if we found any fire magic. I know you said there was Ice 2, and we have a Bolt 2 from the Lightning Shield, or the Thunder Shield, rather. So...
no fire yet, as Sid was going to see his Mog as he starts the Edgar train. All the Edgar's checks kind of just chain together, so kind of just do one after another. So he's going to find 2 characters by the end of this and the Esper on the throne, as Dr. DT takes out the Katana Soul to get an offering, which is going to go with the Valiant Knife if anybody can equip it.
Yeah, that's a huge play right there, especially knowing that the Valiant Knives are for sale. That is a great find to find Katana Soul down here.
In their natural spot, I believe. I think that's a vanilla chest for that.
I think Katana Soul is in the ancient castle, not in the ancient cave. So it's French. It's French vanilla. It's close enough.
Okay, I know he's down there, but I just couldn't remember which one he was in.
I think the other one is Gigantos. Maybe chat will have to let me know, because I have not played the vanilla game in forever. I just know, or I recall that that's where Katana Soul is. I don't remember the other ones though. Unfortunately, my memory's going.
Yeah, so Dr. TT is going to finish their Edgar chain, so they'll be moving on to new things. Probably going to go to Narsh. It's going to have to go to Narsh because all the rest of the checks they have available to them is in Narsh, whether it's Mog or the Yeti. So it's which one they're going to do. Probably just going to do Mogs. So it makes me as possible Kefka at Narsh too here. Now we're going to do some more shopping with the Dragon Gear, it looks like.
Yep. So in the ancient castle itself, there is the Spectre monster in a box. So that's the one that I missed. Spectre will give you a hyper wrist for Revivify, basically. So it's not a terrible trade.
No, and Sid is using Fire 2, so Fire 2 is grabbed somewhere.
Gotcha.
So all the 2 versions are available. We still haven't seen any Black Magic level 3 spells yet, though, or Bio for that matter, or Flare, or anything else like that.
Yeah, Realm would be nice to.
I would not break.
She normally has Atma weapons for sale, so there's an Atma weapon. You could also use the offering for the Atma weapon. One of the 3 weapons that the offering does not give a penalty to. The other 2 are the Valiant Knife and the aforementioned Fixed Dice, but we have not found Fixed Dice. So we have seen Atma weapons at for sale right there where Dr. DT is, World of Balance Narsh, and we saw them in World of Ruin Kolingin was where the Valiant Knife was.
I find entwined. That's a great thing to have on Sid's screen when you have the tentacles. Everybody getting entwined. Kind of interesting. He broke his Thunder Shield and is mimicking it to get through this Guardian fight. I guess going a little more drastic measures here, and he is going to get through the fight that way.
Yeah, good heads up play to know that you can break your shield. I mean, if you've taught your Bolt 2 spell to everybody, it's not a bad idea. I usually like to keep my shields just for elemental protection, but when you have Gogo who can mimic a broken shield breaks will do a maximum amount of damage with a tier 3 elemental spell. So that's a highest it could possibly be Bolt 3, and Guardian's weak to lightning, so that makes sense.
Yep, and Dr. TT is going to check the Mog check. It actually gives you a peek at the Yamaro check, which is blank, so it could be an Esper up there.
Yep, it's not a character. Otherwise, we'd see somebody chilling in the hidey hole.
Yep, we need, hopefully we can find somebody with lore, because Katana Soul and WR Jones' screen is checking out all the lore abilities here, so...
Yeah, I think he would much rather have this offering than a lore, but that's okay. We'll go either or. It's an imp at Kefka at Narsh, so we were gated at Zone Eater this seed.
Okay, yep. So we did have to go in the belly of the beast to go anywhere as... No, okay, never mind. Yeah, so that was gated because of the starting characters. But now we got a Cyan. So... Seeing Jones with, like, extra 2 Espers on them, I'm guessing that Dr.
Oh,
DT...
he doesn't pick
Doesn't
Cyan?
pick the Cyan?
F's in the chat for Cyan.
Wow.
I didn't see what he picked over Cyan. I totally missed that. That's amazing.
I think it was just like a Genji something. It was Genji Glove.
Oh, was it a Genji Glove? Well,
Genji Glove offering double Atma on the Murder Child. Okay.
Yeah, there's Atma weapons for sale. I would rather have a Genji Glove than Cyan, to be honest with you, because we already got our 6 characters, and we don't want to unnecessarily increase scaling. So I approve of killing Cyan.
But where do you go from here, though? Because, I mean, Realms checks don't have a character. Setzer's checks don't have a character.
That's true.
I mean, did he just block himself from advancing any further?
Well, you can go to the World of Ruin, Narsh, and back in the mines, you could pick up what gets dropped at Lone Wolf. So he'll probably go back there and go get it after he does all the Yeti checks, right? Just so that he can progress in this seed, because he won't have enough checks to get all of the other Espers. So he'll need the checks at some point. I approve of killing Cyan for the memes.
Well, I approve the same for the memes, but you're adding an extra like 15 minutes now, aren't you?
Yeah,
you have to go into the mines because there's nowhere to go. Though you're not going to get an Espers this way, though.
Correct. You're going to have to. He is going to have to pick up Cyan at some point.
Yeah.
I just, it is hilarious that was.
I know. I'm laughing too. Don't get me wrong. I'm laughing because that's just silly.
Yep. So what was that? Genji Glove you said was the other thing?
Yeah, it was Genji Glove or Cyan. And so obviously taking Cyan, you are definitely going to get 2 Espers out of his checks when we get there. Just given the numbers here, sheer numbers at this point, I'm going to assume. So
yeah, so Cyan will open up. He'll open up 5 checks in total: 3 for the Dream, 1 for Mount Zozo, and 1 for World of Balance Doma. So yeah, he opens up a lot of checks, and with our party composition or the characters we found, all of them have 3 or less checks. Edgar has 3, Setzer has 3, Realm has 2, Mog, Gogo, and Umaro all have 1 apiece, and it is the tentacles at Kefka at Narth terrorizing our characters.
Also, I want to point out that the Starlit Esper does have Ice 3 on it, so we do have our Tiger damage available.
Excellent.
And Doom, so we do have Tiger, we got the Doom damage, so we got 2 parts of it. We do not have Fenrir, we do not have Golem, we do not have Siren or Mute yet. So we are missing some of the tools for Final Kefka here.
Yeah, our runners still have a bit to go, because this is a character stacked seed with just the way it was. It seems like it's a kind of linear seed, unfortunately, for people that are not fans of linear seeds, that like the more, go everywhere type of seeds. However, linear seeds will also get to show you who makes the better decisions regarding routing of certain checks first, and obviously of abilities. If everybody's got to do the same checks, then whoever does them all first is obviously better than the other runners. Ice Dragon on Sid's screen, Skull Dragon, that's some new information on Jones's screen.
Now, does it behoove you the fact that he's using Yamaro over Gogo or Mog?
Yes, but maybe he has an affinity for the Yeti. Do we have any Yeti lovers in the chat?
I don't mind Yeti, just not for Final Kefka.
I don't like Yeti, period, end of story. A berserk character is not a good idea. But
Gao with Stray Cat.
Yep. Gao with Stray Cat's a little different because, you're
Okay,
going to be using that character the entire... Yeah, you're right. There are exceptions.
Speaking of Stray. Speaking of Stray, but that's our Esper that we got at Kefka Narsh.
Yep. So Dr. DT with Esper number 4. Ice Shield coming from the Skull Dragon in the in the snowy fields of Narsh there. That's Jones's second dragon, or is that his third dragon? Have I miscounted?
I think that was his third.
That was his third.
So he's got some big levels now. He also got a fire shield at some point. That's where he got the fire. That's where they're getting the fire 2 from.
So that might be the reward from whatchamacallit, from the ice dragon here on Sid's screen. We'll have to see what
Fire
it is.
and ice. There you go.
Number 24 at the Tritalk spot.
Okay, so MM Junior. So that's not too bad.
But Mom, I want Magimaster. Mom, we have Magimaster at home. This is Magimaster at home here, and it is getting bullied by this ice dragon here. Does not have any ice elemental protection, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Stray is a pretty nothing type of Esper, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now. Cure 1. I mean, there's nothing there. Vanish, multiple vanishes. Which, I mean, that could help. I mean, Vanish is another variation that you can have for getting around the 10 hits and stuff.
Yeah,
Takes a while to set up, though.
You could use it to block Calmness. It's not an advisable way to do it, but you certainly can.
Oh my god, more Super Balls.
Yeah, we're just throwing Super Balls all over this seed. Meanwhile, we got a Frozen Realm, a down Go-Go, and not a Esper. It is another Dragonhorn, in case you didn't have enough of this seed.
Jump. We're jumping. We are bouncing. I mean, we're just an inflatable toy here, I'm just saying. One of those inflatable bounce houses.
I've never been in a bouncy castle before.
You haven't?
I have never been in a bouncy castle.
If you live by me, I take my kids to a place, and there are 6 bounce house apparatuses in a indoor full sliding area and everything. It's awesome. So you'll have to go. Well, I'll have to steal you and take you sometime.
All right, as long as they're adult sized.
Oh, they're big enough for adults.
I would definitely break a kid-sized one for sure.
No, these are huge. These are big.
All right, so I didn't see if it was a Magicite or an item that was removed from the Sasquatch cave. If anybody in the chat
I didn't either,
let me know.
But that's not a boss you want to see.
Yeah, those are the Three Stooges. I'm going to go back and go see if I could figure it out. So give me 1 second here.
Yeah, what you want to do in Three Stooges is you got to kill the top guy. The top guy channels basically his inner Phoenix, because he does fire, he does raising, he does the healing of the 3. So you want to take out the guy floating up top first, and then after that, the back to front. It's whichever you want to do. Usually it's the back to front, but you have to kill the top one first.
All right, so it's an Aura Lance that he pulled out. So
hey, more Dragoon stuff.
Yeah, I guess Jones either really wants this item or he didn't save before he jumped down into the cave. It's one of the two. Unfortunately, both Yeti checks, both the Tritalk spot and the Sasquatch cave are both dead checks. So you definitely have to get Cyan.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get him, because I'm trying to do the numbers here. And quick maths, it doesn't add up.
No, so I guess the only way and the best way to go in there now okay, let me ask you, which is the best way to go after that extra Mog dropped item, quote unquote, drop person, this matter? Do you go through the security check, or do you go through the Elder's house? Which would you do?
I go through the Elder's house just because you could also pick up the 3 chests along the way there, if you really wanted to. If you go in the side entrance, you probably can get back to those chests, but you're definitely going out of your way for it. So I expect to see. Well, it depends on what our runners' preferences are. Obviously, Jones unfortunately doesn't know that he has to go to get. Cyan at the top of Narsh, so he's going to be, I guess, kicking himself unless he actually picks Cyan over the Genji glove, and
Yeah.
not for the memes like Dr. DT did.
Also, I want to remind everybody, well, we got a quick second of people doing some crisscross applesauce repeating. Don't forget, Wednesday, March 23rd, 10 p.m. Eastern, Ultros Pod will be running their version of this seed. Not this particular seed, but it'll be different. This flag set, let me just say that. This flag set, they'll have their own version of the seed, so it'll be completely new characters and everything. That will be on the Speed Gamers channel. We don't know which number yet. And on Thursday, March 24th, we got the Inferno Pod. That should be right here at 8 p.m., around 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Worlds Collide.
Yep, I'll be running in the Ultros
Yeah,
pod.
you'll be running those.
Hopefully I'll be moving on, and hopefully the seed is kind to me. It was not kind to me in one of my practice runs earlier. I ended up with like 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is not going to cut it in this tournament, because now that we're down to like only 3 per pod, the runners are all really. I mean, they were all really good when we started it out, but now they're exceptionally well.
Yeah, and but have you run the Future Seed yet? Have the Future run the Week 5s yet?
I'm not getting ahead of myself. That would be a bad jinx.
Alrighty, I did do a test run on the 5-1. It was great. My run was perfect. It was the fastest seed I ever ran on any Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide I ever did.
Wow!
Until I got to Vanilla Goddess.
Yeah, we saw another one of the pod races have a Vanilla Goddess, and it was the ruiner of runs, basically. Jones is now taking the trek up World of Balance, Narsh, so he already did this in the World of Ruin. Now he's going up the World of Balance. Sid and Dr. DT are both in Owser's Mansion admiring some fine artwork in the museum.
This is crazy. Like, again, another pot of this, and we're progression blocked by Cyan, and we'll see what Dr. Jones does, or WR Jones does rather. See if he gets the Cyan or not. He does already have the 6 characters, but he has to know by now he's got to take the Cyan.
Yeah, we'll see if he does it for the memes or if he's gonna go with Cyan. He will pick Cyan up.
Yeah.
So he's our first runner with 7 characters, in spite of the fact that Dr. DT actually went there first.
And technically, I'm going to say this, he just took a big lead because he does. Oh, he's got natural jump. What?
Oh, jeez.
Natural jumping Cyan. Okay. Everybody. Wow. Okay, we're just going to have all 4 characters jumping. Nobody's ever going to be on the ground to fight with. And this probably is going to be one of the longest Kefka fights ever.
Yep, and the Yeeti gets thrown off the team for jumping Cyan. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Jones goes and does Cyan's checks immediately right away. I'm cheating a little bit and looking at his tracker, and it looks like
as you can because you are the tracker.
Yep, this is his last location character, by the way. So he's definitely doing Cyan checks next because he has nothing else to do.
He does doing Kefka. What was Kefka at Narsh?
It is an Esper.
Okay, so it'll be Esper number 7. So yeah, so by the time he's done with Cyan's likely to beat at least 1, if not 2 Espers. Just by doing the dream. So yeah, we got a chance.
Doesn't he asking in chat, did Boo roll the seed? No, I rolled the seed.
This guy did. Yep.
I'm your honorary Boo for the evening.
I did not. I was busy doing.
Fanatic, apparently,
I was busy doing my first restream ever of this, so he said, "I'll roll it for you."
Yeah. So while we're fluffing each other's chests out, give our commentating stream and our runners to follow here. They're the ones putting on the show for you, as all three of our runners are in Narsh, but just different worlds of Narsh.
And I'm very fluffy because I'm a wolf. Just saying.
There it is. So Jones at the Tentacles, the bottom right tentacle is susceptible to doom, so see you later. Sid is going to be fighting his Skull Dragon. We'll see if Dr. DT also fights the Skull Dragon. Looks like he's skipping out for now. Looking to see maybe if he can get some additional espers to learn some spells. Dragons will give you 50 magic points. Oh, he went to save first. Never mind. So we got double skull dragons here. So yeah, so sometimes you want to see if that Tritox spot gives you an esper, because dragons will give you 50 MP. So you could basically learn almost any spell.
Dr. DT, I think, is rebelling against Jump because he actually has Edgar doing the double Atmas right now. As Mog finally does Jump. Okay, so...
Yeah, double Atmas will be a good strategy. I don't know what his levels are like, but if he's doing 2,000 a swing, it's got to be in either the early or mid-30s here. The dragon will puff him up some more. Jones getting Esper number 7 with Stray there. And the Skull Dragon is actually weak to Fire and Pearl. Ice will hurt it. Unfortunately, Gogo is still down on Sid's screen. I don't know how much... what is the fight to death ratio of Gogo? Let us know in the chat. You got any guesses here?
Yeah, it's going to be at least 5. I mean, between the runners at least.
Gogo has only survived 5 fights.
So Jones, that we're just going to say has the lead at 7 characters, 7 espers, now has Cyan, who unfortunately Dr. DT passed on, so we're going to have to ask him about that.
Definitely for the memes. I approve for the memes.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he's got to now go all the way back to the Moogle spot. I don't know if anybody else is going to go all the way back to the Moogle spot for those Genji gloves. And we got pretty much sync right now going on from Sid and Dr. DT. The difference is Dr. DT knows that he's got to go get Cyan after defeating Yeti, whereas Sid's got to march all the way up of Narsh in the world of balance to go get him.
I'm slightly surprised they didn't check leader, but I guess it really doesn't matter because you get the higher chance of getting the multiple espers going by Dream instead. So that's probably was the better call. Just go straight to Dream, see what is there. You get the highest chance of getting the amount of espers you need. I'll laugh. It's going to be character number 8 if it's going to be like Terra or Strago. I'll laugh, especially if it's Strago, if it's in his Dream.
Well, Cyan's Dream is actually 3 checks in 1, and the first part and the third part are either Esper item. So, as Saberwolf said, if we're looking for Espers, this is the place to be, because you can only get a character on your second check. And the second check can also give you an Esper, so I think Jones is looking for a 2 out of 3 here at worst. And it is...
Ooh, Toilet Atma. Oh, no, regular Atma, sorry.
No, that is Toilet Atma.
Oh, that's wrong. I was right. I'm right.
Yep.
Jinxed myself there. Yeah, that was an Aura Lance on the skull statue there.
You hate to see it happen.
Yeah, both Sid and Dr. DT's going to disappoint. Dr. DT's really going to be kicking himself now with the skip, with the pass on Cyan now.
Yeah, he could have avoided this entire area altogether, for sure. Yeah, especially when you see that the Umaro check is not a character. But that's the thing, right? Like, if you need espers, then you're going to go to a place where, oh look, there's no esper at Yeti Cave. Unfortunately, they're both items, which is kind of a feels bad man moment,
Yeah, his Realm's going to get... Cyan, Edgar, and Setzer all have jump, except for Realm. Realm's doing the Murder Child routine of casting spells. So, like I said before, you really got to load up on the HP and the defense for Realm, because she's really going to be the target for everything if you are going to fall through with this Dragoon strat.
Oh, there's our combo
protection. A big Esper. Woo!
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter what's on that Esper. Now Jones is ready to go. He just needs Esper number 9, and it is an imp, so he's going to get Esper number 9 here after this check. Yep. So he will be in Kefka mode after completing this boss. He's got 7 characters. I don't think he's going to go for skip.
No, I mean, if there was a character instead of imp, maybe. Then you could just go straight to maybe leader and see if that was a character, and then just go from there.
Yeah, but I mean, the other cyan checks are pretty fast. Like Mount Zozo is pretty quick if you don't take the dragon. Jones already has 3, so he doesn't need any more. Because actually, in this seed, every dragon that you defeat actually adds to the enemy levels.
Up to 2.
So you don't really
up to 2.
Well, no. So the scaling is based on characters plus espers plus dragons, right? Now the dragon scaling is based on characters plus espers plus dragons, and there's extra 10 levels if you defeat one dragon, and extra 10 if you defeat 2. Yep. So it looks like Dr. DT went through the side entrance. It, to me, looks a lot longer.
Yeah, he's going to have to go... Oh, wait. Is he...
Yeah, so he went through the security room. That's the room where you fight Kefka. And there it is. There's Cyan, finally.
Yeah, crying against the wall like, you abandoned me!
Feels bad. So, little Bible thumps in the chat for Cyan there.
Thank God you can warp stone out of there, though. I mean,
oh yeah. You can't in the world of balance, but in the world of ruin, you definitely can.
Sid is gonna go for his Mog check now. So let's see if he picks. He has to pick Cyan. He's not gonna pick the Genji glove, unfortunately. But he already has it, so from something else. So
where was Cyan? Oh, Lone Wolf. That's right.
Lone Wolf. So Gauntlet Dragonhorn definitely.
I'm trying to fill out my tracking sheet here.
So Gauntlet Dragonhorn for Cyan, so he can put 2 hands on it. But no, he's going to switch to Atlas Armlet instead. Going for the more defenses, I guess.
Yeah, Gauntlet is very good with jumpers because you're in the air most of the time. You don't really need a shield, right? And it will essentially double your damage. Atlas Armlet will give you, I believe it is 25% more physical damage. So Gauntlet will give you more damage than an Atlas Armlet. I think Jones is got a bathroom break going on. That was an insta reset. I did not see what that was. That was way too fast for me. It must have been a character because DT is not looking for characters at this point. I just didn't see what it was. It was Sabin. Thank you very much, Falcon Hit. The real MVPs in the chat tonight.
Yeah. Well, we're pulling double duty here. I mean, we're doing Restream and tracking and commentating, so we're pulling a bit of double duty, making sure we get you all the pods available that we can to you in all the races. As Sid does take the Cyan as predicted. He's going to be moving on to the Dream themselves here in a bit, as WR Jones is about to fight the boss here. But yeah, he's going to take that quick best bathroom break here. Yeah,
there he is.
There we go. Hey!
Giving Dr. DT a little chance to catch up, but Jones does have 8 espers, whereas Dr. DT only has 6. So Dr. DT is hoping for a clean sweep here in Cyan's Dream, and we know the first 2 are level check, and Cyan does not pass the level check on the screen.
Oh, that's a nightmare for him.
Ba-doom. Yeah. We'll be here. Well, we won't be here all night because the stream has to stop at some point. But
shout out to Sin Pro.
Dr. DT forgets his Moogle charm and decides it's quicker to reset than to try and fight that fight. Meanwhile, Sid is going to be doing Kefket Narsh, so he'll get Esper number 6. And I'm guessing that he's going to run straight to Cyan's Dream, like we saw our other 2 runners run.
Yep.
Memento Ring will make insta-kill spells like Doom and others miss all the time. So Memento Ring will help. I usually sell it because it's a nice $8,000, and I don't find I get doomed all that often. But yeah, yes, I mean, if you're going up against Doom Gaze, it helps to have that on.
Now, does it help you against coldness?
No, because so Memento Ring will protect you against insta-death magic spells. Calmness is an insta-death physical
Physical
attack.
spell. Okay, yeah.
Right. So
Availability.
that's why Memento Ring or Safety Bit, I think is the other relic, does not work against Calmness because it's actually a physical attack. So that's why the Image status or the Vanish status will work, because Image and Vanish will allow you to bypass any physical attack, right? So that's why that can work. And that's why Earthwall, which is Golem, works, because Golem protects physical damage and not magical damage. Yay,
nice.
technical details.
No, that's what we have. Anybody who's new out there, this is all the little stuff that you can learn when you go through this randomizer and stuff that you can pick up that will really help you along the way. As I mentioned, we want Realm to be very beefy. Dr. W.R. Jones's Realm is now up to over 3,000 HP now, versus the rest of the party. So I believe they had a +1 stamina on them for a while too. So
yeah, stamina unfortunately really doesn't do much. It will help you from things like seizure status and poison damage, but it actually is bugged so that you actually get poisoned for more if you have higher stamina. It's very weird how it works, but so stamina is just a stat when you see it on Esper bonuses.
Odin.
Just ignore it. It doesn't mean anything. And that is Go mode, or Kefka's Tower mode, or rather Final Kefka mode for Jones.
Yep, and that was an Odin Esper as
that was
well.
Odin, you said?
So that's another Esper that's also actually helpful, taking out Short Arm, taking out the Machine. As the other Esper we get is Infrared, not a helpful Esper towards the end game. Let's see if we can learn off them. Odin is Life 3, that's pretty good. Golem has not much of anything. Infrared has Cure 3 and Haste 2.
Yeah, haste is good for the tentacles battle, but since we already beat them, it doesn't really matter much.
Yeah, but I mean, laying down a haste 2 at the beginning of Kefka can be, helpful, especially when tier 2 actually puts haste on everything on their end, so you can keep up with the rounds of attacks, I guess.
Yep, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Sid is going to do some party finagling here. I wonder who he's going to choose. He's just unequipping people, so I'm guessing that is for the Snow Muffler from Umaro. That is, so in Worlds Collide, you can actually equip and unequip, more importantly, Umaro. Looks like Jones is going for yet another dragon. Maybe he's not keen on his levels. So this will be dragon number 4 for Jones. So he didn't do the Opera House dragon before. I thought he did. That was who was that? Was that Sid? No. Yeah, that was Jones. So yeah, he just gets thrown out.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. What is going on?
So he already defeated this dragon, so that's why he got thrown out when the lever came.
Oh,
because
okay.
Cyan's not an actor. He's not allowed on stage.
Dost thou think of thee be actor?
He did it so long ago.
Okay, let's go for the I get that.
He did it so long ago that he doesn't even remember he did it. So
Sid doing leader funny. For the Sabin.
That's something you never really see.
Tools.
So Jones is into KT. What's our time looking here? 104?
Yeah, 104.
KT at 104.
Yep. Around there, yep.
Yeah, so Sid is going to get Sabin, so he might be on the skip track. Maybe he knows that he's behind, or maybe he thinks he's behind and is like, the only way I catch up is to do the skip.
I don't blame them. And after doing the Sabin, do you think you would do the Waterfall if he wants to get another character? Yeah, the Falling House. You still got Mount Zozo.
You do checks that you could peek, because if you're like, I need, if this is character number 8, right? And you want character number 9, so you would do checks that you could peek. So for Sabin, that's Collapsing House, that's Phantom Train, and that's Imperial Camp. You could peek the Imperial Camp after the first fight, and you could peek Phantom Train before you go through the entire train. So that's what I would do if I was Sid.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, I like
Dr.
that.
DT
I
is
like
getting
that.
Esper number 8. I didn't actually see what was on the
Oh, it's a
throne.
goddess on the screen for W.R. Jones on the Inferno check. So that's a French vanilla goddess here.
Oof. You hate to see it.
Yeah, but we actually have a good team. He has Setzer, Realm, and Go-Go. Go-Go can mimic the Ice 3 coming off Realm. That's why you always want to pair Go-Go. But not that it's really doing much damage, but...
Yeah, and that's go mode for Dr. DT with the trifecta of Espers that was in Cyan's dream. So, had he picked up Cyan way back when, remember he was the first to see Cyan, he might be in the lead right now. But hindsight is 2020,
and Sid's just starting the dream now.
Yeah, and for me, I'd rather not intentionally increase the difficulty of the seed unless I had a plan for it, right? So I get it, and it's unfortunate that both of the Yeti spots are dead. If they weren't dead, I think this might have been a different story, right? Because you could do Auction House, you could do to Zen Thief to get your go mode, but having both of the dead checks at Yeti definitely hurt Dr. DT there. We got Berserk on Ifrit, so in case we run into you-know-who, we could cast you-know-what.
Well, our first boss of the Kefka's Tower wasn't that great, so...
Yeah, so Skid might... Skid, wow.
You're doing it again!
Last time I commentated Sid, I did that as well. So Sid might be doing the right thing here.
Ooh,
and
it's a dead
going
goddess.
for the skip. Nice. Jones getting past Goddess, our first one past our first Kefka Tower boss. Meanwhile, Dr. DT is heading into Kefka's Tower, 107.05, so he is exactly 3 minutes behind Jones.
So, wow. I saw a quad 9, I don't know where it came from. On Sid's screen.
Not fixed dice, rather. Is that Realm bullying Atma?
I don't know, I thought that was jump from Cyan, but yeah.
That's what the murder child can do, folks. Couple of earrings and some good magic power espers. Although I didn't see any of the seed, right? Did you see any?
No, but here's the thing. Here. Think about this. Now Sid is going to get through this. Okay, they're going to be sitting at 9 espers and 8 characters.
Mm-hmm.
Would you try to go for character number 9? Would you try to peek it at this point? You're 107 into the seed. It's been pretty rough, but it's been double gated for that matter. Was gated behind Go-Go was gated behind Cyan. Oh, Go-Go, sorry. Go-Go to Mog. Oh, no, Go-Go to Edgar to Mog to Cyan. It was quadruple gated.
Yeah. I try to get my 9th character if it's at Imperial Camp, or I would just jump off of Barren Falls because that's real fast. But other than that, I don't think I'm doing Phantom Train. I think it's a little bit too long. So doing the skip saves you around like 5-ish minutes of doing everything that Jones is doing now, which is defeating the boss goddess and getting all of your characters on the right steps and statues. It could take longer depending upon what the boss is at the Inferno spot, rather. Yeah. And Goddess certainly is not a fun one to fight.
Yeah, a good skip on Goddess wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, so you have to weigh out how long you're going to do the check versus how long you're going to save, right? You're going to save if you think that your check, if you do it, takes 2 or 3 minutes, and if it saves you 5 or 6, then obviously you want to do the check to save you 3 minutes. But Sid, like I said, is probably feeling behind, maybe, because he last locationed a few things. So and the fact that he went and got Sabin leads me to believe that he might do it. Oh, I forgot about Collapsing House. That's what I would check.
Yeah,
first.
Collapsing House. That would be first because that's an instant peak.
Right.
As Dr. TT is about to go into Goddess here.
Yeah, good luck for Dr. DT. Yeah, that's what I would do is go right to Collapsing House after this, and then Imperial Camp. You could see what the reward is after the first fight, and they're fixed encounters. So at worst, you could run away from every single one of them if you really wanted to. What are his levels like? He's got his levels are pretty good. His Edgar, I think, is level 45. Remember, he got the second experience egg. In where the heck was it? There was a second experience egg. I don't remember where it was.
South Figueroa was one.
Maybe everybody got it.
Wow, that was a quick goddess.
Yep. Ooh, Haydn and the Haydnites at the Inferno spot. Not fun bosses so far in our Kefka's Tower.
Nope.
Oh, Zozo. That's right. It was at Zozo. It was at the clock. It was in the clock room, I think. Right? The experience egg was in the clock room. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't know if. So nobody else is getting that experience egg. So he has 2 of them. Unfortunately, Realm is a multiple of 5 for the Doomgaze fight here. So his levels will probably be fine because he has not 1 but 2 experience eggs.
Yeah, which apparently is on Setzer, because Setzer has the same amount of health as Realm does. So I'm going to assume that Setzer had the other experience egg for them.
Yep, so Haydn and the Haydnites on Jones's screen. There is 1 Haydn and 4 Haydnites. The one in the bottom left absorbs basically every element and can zombie one of your characters. So that one's a bit of a yikes. However, if you clear out all of the Haydnites, Haydn will start using his most powerful spell, which in the vanilla game is Grand Train. Due to ability scaling, I'm sure we'll probably also see Grand Train because our runners are high enough levels. Weak to Pearl, weak to Fire. So we'll see how Jones gets past this. Shouldn't be too bad with 1 Jumper and 1 Realm.
And for those of you that are playing the Pixel Remaster, it's called Grand Delta, by the way.
Ah.
Yeah, a lot of these renames I'm not digging. Yeah.
I mean, I can understand because it's like it's got the animation is like a triangle on the screen, so Delta makes sense because the symbol for Delta is a triangle, right? But I think it was supposed to be called like a trine, right?
Well, both of them were supposed to be trine with an E in the end, but yeah.
Yeah. Presenter is Anglerwelk. Yeah, no thanks. Give me the character restrictions of the Super Nintendo. All day, every day.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Like, I went to a convention this weekend, and I found Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V, like, a remix version of them where you could, like, use, like, any character you want for the end game. And there's our Magimaster!
Oh, no. You hate to see it happen. I think we'll be okay, but...
As Gogo's still in zombie mode, by the way.
Yeah, so during the Haydn and the Haydnites
it's a reset!
Fight, yeah, so during the Haydn and the Haydnites fight, if one of your characters goes down, they can revive characters as zombies. That's one of the abilities that Haydn can do. As you see, Umaro, Sunburnt Yeti, is face down on the screen there. So we'll see if... Yeah, so Choke Smoke will revive Yeti as a zombie. And that's a slightly less sunburned Yeti.
Joe's just trying to desperate... Oh, it's a Berserk ×1!
Oh, no, that's awful.
And it's only on Infrared. He's trying to figure out who learned it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Which was on another character, so he had to take it off that character. Now he's going to have to, like... Well, he can't go back to do a dragon because he's beyond the dragon point.
Yeah, it's time for some grind fights. There goes the Moogle charm. This is awful, especially at a ×1 rate. This is not fun. Although this group of enemies will give some magic points. This could be
quite a bit of magic points. Should be about 20.
Sid is going to grab up his Valiant Knives, and who can use them? Looks like Setzer can use the Valiant Knife, so throw him in the front row and we're good to go. Because Valiant Knife is not a back row.
HP, yeah.
Yeah, Valiant Knife is not a back row item, meaning you have to be in the front row for full damage. Unlike the Illumina, which does full damage from the back row. Dr. DT getting the bad news that it's Magimaster time.
But did they learn Berserk on any other characters is the question.
Well, I mean, if
I don't
Yeety
think
keeps
so.
yeeting his characters at people, then maybe we'll be okay. He's got Atma Weapon Genji Gloves, so Atma Weapon is a defense-ignoring item. Magimaster has very high physical defense. Yeah, that's the problem. Is Magimaster has very high physical evade, and yeah, that's why you're seeing the swings and misses here. Sid is not going for the skip. He is heading into Kefka's Tower at 1:15:30ish, so he's got some time to make up here.
That was a Merton coming out for Magimaster, taking out Cyan, who was the party healer.
Oof. Super Balls. Okay.
Okay.
That was a bit on the lower side of the rolls, but you know what?
Whiffed.
We'll take it. Yeti's Slam and Yeti's Throw also bypass defense, so we could do that. That is going to be a big Super Ball. Yeah. I think that's the max damage Super Ball you can have is 56-32.
I think it does matter, like, if the ball actually bounces on the target you're hitting or not. Like, sometimes I feel like it does matter.
Well, the animation corresponds to how much damage you're going to have. So, yeah, there's another max damage Super Ball. And Magimaster, unfortunately, still not dead. So we'll see if Realm can hit her target with these Atma weapons. Unfortunately, Atma weapons need you to be fully... full
HP.
Ooh. And there's a reset.
A little ahead of us. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, Rom goes down. Well, that does... this is an interesting impasse, though, for Jones and Dr. DT, as Sid's going to start charging up from behind. Up the mountain here.
Dr. DT looks like he's going to go try again, this time with Atma Weapon offering, so he could have 8 times the slices and dices.
Hey!
Meanwhile, Jones is learning Berserk here, and that's the problem with the jump seed, is that if you run into Magimaster, that's not going to help you, because he has such high physical defense.
Yeah.
And down goes our Sunburnt Yeti again. Jones has got Jones has got Berserk 50% learned, so a couple more of these fights and he'll be good to go. And there you see the power of the Genji Glove offering. Oh, offering never misses. So that's why, yeah, this Magimaster.
Oh yeah, this is going to be
as long as Realm can stay alive and stay at high HP. Unfortunately, when you put a second Atma weapon on, it also means you remove your shield.
She is wearing Force Armor and a cat hood, so it does have a little bit of magic defense.
Yeah, so both of those will definitely greatly reduce Magimaster's power. But now you see the swings are for a lot less than they were before, but Cyan, being our party healer, will make sure that Realm can beat up Magimaster. And there it is!
Yeah,
Magimaster down for Dr. DT.
Yeah,
nice
that was about 17,000 damage on that last swing of Atma weapons. So with the and that also gives us our Mega Elixir for the Fallen one. So good stuff there.
Jones running into a group of veterans. This is a terrible fight. At least the last fight is doable and rewards you with a lot of MP. This one is just annoying because these guys can instant death you and condemn you and just make it just miserable to be around. Sid is finding Goddess but has a jumper, so Goddess is weak to physical attacks, but normally a physical attack will proc her love token ability, which means that people have to eat her physical damage for her, but with a jumper that bypasses the love token counter. Genji offering double Atma is nice. Yeah, the problem with it, like I said, is you have to keep your user alive and at maximum HP, and without a shield it's a little bit harder to do. With Valiant Knife, that's not the case, because Valiant Knife gets better as your health goes down, so not having a shield is not that big of a deal.
Kefka, we're done.
Kefka came down from his Light of Judgment tower here to meet us over at the Doom spot.
And Dr. DT switches the offering Genji Glove Atma weapon back onto Edgar, so that he made short work of that one.
Yeah, that was a huge heads-up play by Dr. DT, recognizing that Atma weapon can pierce through defense, and that offering means that it always hits. So, excellent job by
and
him.
Sid gets through Goddess on the first try, so that's that'll help them out to catch up here in the speed a little bit, as Dr. DT does officially take the lead, as Jones had to learn Berserk, tried to do Berserk to get around this Magic Master here, which basically prevents him from changing shields, casting spells, or anything.
Yeah, it means that he only does physical damage, and Magic Master doesn't do a lot of physical damage. Unfortunately, our team is built for physical damage, and Magic Master still has very high physical defense, so a few quad 9 ice 3s, though, will certainly shut him down. And it's Vargas and the Apple Toilets, the iPoos.
The Pooh Bears.
Over on Dr. DT's screen. Sid definitely clutched up against Goddess, and there's Magimaster down on Jones's screen. So yeah, this is the lead has definitely changed in this one, but anything can and will happen in a race of worlds collide, so don't go anywhere. And hope you got some long fingernails, because I'm starting to bite mine.
Yeah, this is definitely coming down to the wire here.
So there you see super balls for Dr. DT. Only hit the Pooh Bears, and it hit for different damages on both of them. Because remember, super balls will do a random amount of damage to a random amount of targets. Since Vargas is the only one on the screen now, that's what the super ball will go after.
And that did a pretty good amount of damage.
Yep. So let's see. Gogo's going up in the air with a death counter over her head. Or their head, rather. Let's see if Mog can finish this off. Ooh. I think we might have a dead Gogo up in the air. Yep. So Gogo's going to do this damage when they come down, and then it's going to fall flat on the ground. Just as a note, if that happens during the final Kefka battle, and you die in the air, and you also kill Kefka, that doesn't count. Kefka will burn away, but it will say annihilated, and you'll get the game over screen instead of the ending screen. So that's a fun way to tie. Yeah, it's a fun way to tie. You never want that to happen. But that is the last statue down for Dr. DT, and he will be stepping on the switches to fight the Mad Clown himself.
So 122. How long was that? Let's go around probably close to 123. How long was that Kefka Tower for DT? Because I believe there was a second one in.
He went in exactly 3 minutes behind Jones at 1:07:05. So his tower, even with having to reconfigure for Magimaster, was still very good time. What was that? He's stepping on the statues just momentarily. It'll be 1:22:35-ish. So yeah, that's what, 15 and a half minutes? That's not so bad.
Yeah.
You want to be, 10 is great. But with the bosses that we've seen, Goddess, Haydn, Magimaster, 10 was never going to happen. Speaking of Haydn, Sid gets through Haydn. Jones gets past Kefka and Narsh, just, coming down from his Light of Judgment. And Dr. DT is going to go on to tier number 1. We'll see how he configures his party. So on this party configure screen, whoever's in slot number 4 will go first on tiers 2, 3, and 4. So that's kind of how you want to configure your party. So let's see here. An insta reset from Sid. He didn't want none of that. None of that, Magimaster. So on tier 1, there's 3 different parts. There's the head, there are 2 different arms. So the arm that's closer to us, the right arm or the long arm, is vulnerable to instant death, so that's why you see Doom come out, and Doom will connect and take out that part. The head is vulnerable to fire, so we'll see Realm trying to kill it with fire. And if the head is left to last, it will death counter with Quake, which is something you never want to see. So that's why we see our runners taking out that one arm first with Doom, and then taking out this head with either fire or physical attacks, and then we'll leave the other arm for last.
You got to care a little bit here, because the dragon horns that we've been talking about the whole entire seed here, as we see Sid is doing the Berserk learning strat that Dr. Jones used, He's currently at 30% learning before starting this path here, so a little bit further along. But the one thing you got to be careful about the whole jumping thing, and also the offering, is that you don't not your tags might be at random here, so you might be taking out the hand before you take out the head. So you got to be a little careful.
Yeah, definitely. Untargetable damage on tiers 1 is very bad. Tier 3 is also bad, but not nearly as bad as tier 1, as we see.
Yeah, because Girl does that
Dr.
much XP.
Dr. DT gets by with no problem, with no party member down here. Tier 2 is also a complicated tier here. There's 4 different parts. The Tiger, coming into view, is weak to ice, but will do all sorts of nasty things to your party, like N-Cross to freeze them, Doom Tusk to zombie one of them. Magic is all the way on the left, is susceptible to being silenced with mute, so that means you could nullify it out completely. Tools under the shrouded cloak in the middle is also susceptible to instant death, so I'm assuming we'll see Doom come out on that screen.
Now, I do not think we have mute though for magic on this scene, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't see the Siren Esper anywhere, so we can't use an Esper cast, and I didn't see mute either, so we'll have to deal with magic the good old-fashioned way, as Jones is stepping on the statues at
125.50
here. Okay. So his Kefka's Tower was over 20 minutes. It was almost at 21 minutes.
Yeah, I had to go back. Needed to learn the Berserk to get around the Magimaster. That's the route that they chose. So, but
yeah,
wow, so right in order
there. yeah. Unfortunately, since they aren't actually named in the actual fight, there's all sorts of different translations and names for these different parts. So tools is the one that I usually use. You could call it machine, because he does mostly machine-based attacks, kind of like M-Techy types of things. And then the blue guy is either called hit or hurt, or I usually just call him hit or slap.
I just call him blue guy. Blue man group. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
So Mog and Realm are frozen and everybody is poisoned. So this is the type of shenanigans that tier 2 can get into with your party. So hit will do only physical damage and will death counter with 10 physical hits. So that's why sometimes you'll see runners leaving it for last, so that you could heal your party up really swole before getting into that. But this is a mess. We got 3 poisoned, 2 frozen, and Edgar just hanging out there. Papa Smurf. Okay, from now on, hit will be known as Papa Smurf. All right, so here we see Magimaster on Sid's screen. The Berserk comes out from Gogo, which means that from now on, Magimaster will not change his walls, and this fight shouldn't be a problem for him. Jones just sped through tier 1 is onto tier 2, and we got a frozen, poisoned imp. Oh my gosh.
Man, Realm is not having it today.
Yeah, so we may see Jones overtake Dr. DT here if he can't get out of the shenanigans on.
Well, unfortunately, Remedy does not kick you out of the frozen or imp state. So Realm is still kind of stuck right now.
Yeah, you need a green cherry for imp, and for frozen, you need to cast a fire spell on your party, or have a fire spell be cast.
Or actually, Dispel, doesn't that work? No, I guess not.
Dispel will work for... No, Dispel clears in battle statuses like slow or haste or any of those other
Realm's
things.
Down.
Yeah. When you're an imp, you basically have no defense.
Oh, he loses Realm!
Yeah. So Dr. DT goes into tier 3 first, but is 1 party member down. So we'll have to see how this affects the rest of the fight. Hopefully Realm was not the one with the Golem or the Golem Esper, because then that could make for a nasty fight here.
Sid, by the way, does get by the Magimaster, so they're moving on to the switches here, because their other fights are not too bad with the Vargas. So they'll be catching up here in a little bit. And the Kefka was the other one.
Yep, so Jones is doing some tier 2 stuff here. Murder Child gets murdered. Other news at 11. So
Yeah.
who's the sub off the bench? Was it Mog?
Is actually no,
Or
it
is it
was
Morphin
Setzer. It
Setzer?
was morphing Setzer, which wasn't bad. It was there. He was there at the beginning of the seed, so should have some decent levels, although their health is kind of low. So
Never
God
mind.
bless you.
And down.
Okay, well that's a regular
That's
Setzer on the
that's
ground now.
that's a dead set. Yeah, Setzer went from Terra to Setzer in one fell swoop. Morph is great for this fight because it does twice the damage of whatever it is you're going to do, whether it be a physical attack or a magical attack. While you're morphed, you always do 2 times damage. Although I don't know, well, he's not going to survive this Merton. But if he did,
No.
I don't know if you can do morph for a second time in a fight. I think it's a 1 time per fight thing. I also don't know if that matters between tiers. Somebody will have to let me know in the chat because I don't use morph all that often, except in these niche situations where I really need it. There's the Phoenix Esper cast who will
Yeah, well we have
revive
two
every.
guys down. Yeah, when you have 2 people down, this really does help.
Yep, and unlike a Phoenix down, which brings you back to 1/8 your HP, the Phoenix Esper does a quarter of your HP. So you actually get healed for more with Phoenix than you do with a life spell or a Phoenix down. I only found that out because I was looking through I was looking through abilities and stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, really? Excellent."
All right,
Yeah,
so we don't
you
have.
can weight trick the morph. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking like we don't have the big like clubbing damage. I mean, all we have is Edgar really here for the big like burst damage to try to get past this tier 3, and Calmness is coming soon. I do not see Golem on any of them. Golem must have been on Realm because I
Yeah.
do not see it on any of them.
Just a question though: why are you going clubbing at a time like this? um,
Well, this is
yeah.
the mad.
So
Well, this is the mad dance music, right? I mean,
all right. Well, Setzer goes down to calmness. That was not a big deal.
no,
Of any of the people to
yeah.
get calmness, that was definitely the one to get.
Whew, took the bullet. As Jones is getting to tier 3.
Yep. So Meteo will hit like a train, not the spell train, like a choo choo train, and not like a phantom train either. But it is easily dodged because its hit rate is pretty pitiful.
Yeah,
So if you have high magic defense or high magic evade, rather, you won't get hit by Meteo.
Yeah, it's AoE flare with low hit rate.
Yep. So Setzer's one job was tanking calmness like a champ, and he did it. 132.20 for Sid stepping on the statues here, and the corpse of Gogo gets dragged into this fight.
Not a
And
bad
looks like
dragon.
Gogo will get up. You can weight trick morph, as pointed out in chat by Boo. I just don't know if you could morph multiple times per battle if you get knocked down while you're in the morph stage. This Genji Glove offering Atma, though.
Yeah, that's doing a lot of damage. That's doing about 3,700 per hit.
Yeah,
there.
so that's about 7,000 times 4, which is what 20. I can't math. 28,000 damage per turn. So that's a lot. Kefka only has 60,000 total, so we'll probably see Kefka go down here with the charge up for Goner. Train coming through on Jones's screen, and Sid is on
Yeah,
the
it's
tier
about
1.
30,000 damage.
Ooh, and there it is, the crack pow. Dr. DT. GG's 133.37
All right.
is the time. Excellent job, Dr. DT. Excellent job. Just typing it in for him.
But we're not done yet. We still need 2 finishers out of this. Not just one, we need 2. At the slowest person is out. So we still have a fight going on between Jones and Sid here.
Yep, Jones is about to take on Kefka, has all of his characters, I believe, from the start of the fight. Sid is at the start of the fight now. Wow, he breezed through tier 1 no problem there, onto tier 2. Elite finish, yeah, 133.37. A very, very elite finish.
Neat.
Oh, man. So, when Dr. DT is ready, he hasn't joined the waiting room yet, but we'll pull him in for an interview. Here comes the Fallen One cast, and since we did kill Master, as you mentioned earlier, we will have a Mega Elixir. So that's what's going to be coming out next for Setzer. Oh, here comes the hyperdrive. And oh, did he just waste his... Oh man, feel bad for Jones. He just wasted his Mega Elixir because Setzer was about to throw it and he got hyperdrived. Hyperdriven?
Oh, no.
Hyperdrove?
Hyperdrove.
what's the past
Hyperbust? I mean, I don't know.
Meanwhile, we have a confused... I thought it was a Frozen Realm, but that's not Frozen. That's just her color palette.
Yeah, we do have DT available in the waiting room, but we do have a tight fight in our hands here between Jones and Sid. As here comes the Goner. That's going to be a dead realm out of this because Cyan and Edgar are in the air.
Alright, let's pull Dr. DT in.
So we'll see if their damage coming down after this Goner is going to be good.
And there it is. The crack on Jones. 133, well, excuse me, 135, 56. Excellent. So, we got Dr. DT in the booth. What's up, Dr. DT? Congratulations on your first place victory. GG.
Hey, thank you very much. That was a very interesting one.
Yeah, so the race was actually pretty close between you and Jones. You actually were in Kefka's Tower 3 minutes behind Jones, and you actually finished ahead of him, mostly in part due to your strat of using the Atma weapon Genji Glove offering on Magimaster. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So at the beginning of the seed, there was a bunch of different paths for it. I saw earrings, I saw horn and boots, I saw Atma weapon Genji Glove, I saw fire shields, I saw a whole bunch of stuff in the shops, and then when the seed decided to give me offering through Katana Soul, plus the huge chunk of change he drops when you have Cat Hood on, I decided, okay, it's time to pivot to that Atma weapon build. And I don't know if you noticed, but I actually took Lone Wolf because I needed that Genji Glove.
That was question number 2 on our list.
yeah. So anyway, I knew I was.
So
it
wasn't for the memes. It was for the. So it wasn't for the memes. It was actually to get the Genji Glove.
Yeah, well, it's always for the memes, but I needed the Genji Glove too. Yeah, so I saw a realm and Edgar could use the Atma weapon, and I was like, okay, well, this is going to be the rest of my seed. So I moved the experience egg back and forth. I moved the offering back and forth. It was kind of weak at the beginning, but I grew into it. So yeah, when I saw that Magimaster, I actually thought for a minute, I thought that I had forgotten to save at Guardian spot. Man. And so I was like, oh no, when I took that wipe, I thought I was going to have to redo everything. But fortunately, my muscle memory was not terrible. And so, yeah, stick the offering on there. It gives you 100% hit rate and you're golden.
Yeah, Magimaster normally has very high physical evade, but offering will solve that problem. So you did end up having to go get Cyan because we just ran out of checks with the dead checks at Umaro and Tritok. I guess your strategy was, well, if I get 2 pieces of Magicite there, then I don't have to get Cyan, but you ended up having to pick them up anyway, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was kind of an opportunity thing. I hadn't fully run out of checks. I think I never did Esper Mountain. So there was an alternative path, but I figured, Cyan's dream is if I go there, I can get all 3 Espers in one go if I'm lucky, or maybe I needed 2 at that point. I can get all the Espers I need, so it seemed like a good opportunity.
Yeah, and with the Esper trifecta, you were then into Kefka's Tower. So
yeah, that's right. I don't know if you noticed my other big bumble, which was not bringing any of my Moogle charms into Cyan's dream, and I had to reset out of there.
I didn't realize that you had forgotten all of your Moogle charms. I was like, oh, this fight is going to take a while. He should just and I figured, oh, you just reset instead of you burning a warp stone. I didn't realize that you had no Moogle charms. That's a yikes.
Yeah, that was me. That was me planning ahead and it coming back to bite me because I was like at Kefka at Narsh. I was like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna plan ahead. I'm gonna put my Moogle charms on Yeti and on Setzer, and they're gonna be there when I get to KT, so I won't have to menu. And yeah, well, we also all saw how that went.
Yep. Well, I mean, that was one of the things that separates the great runners from the good runners is planning ahead and combining your menus so that you don't lose to the actual boss of the game, the menu boss.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to learn, but with mixed results.
Well, you did very well this seed. There was a lot of gifts that were given at the beginning of the seed, especially with jumping things everywhere. But that Kefka's Tower with Goddess and then Haydn and then Magimaster really, I think, was what decided this race here.
Yeah.
Saberwolf,
Yeah.
you got any other questions for Dr. DT?
No. So the only other thing I do have is like you said you decided to go with the double Atmos on Realm instead of learning Berserk on Realm. Was that like a decision you made, or just like, well, I have double Atmos, I'm just gonna go with that?
I was ready to go. I mean, Realm had been swinging those double Atmos for like half an hour at that point. So I had the offering in the inventory, and it's just faster than trying to spend a couple of fights learning Berserk. I knew I could get it done, especially with my Super Balls. Super Balls for the win this
Super
seed, by
balls.
the way.
Yeah, very
Oh
bouncy
yeah,
sea
yep.
between the jumps and the balls and everything else. But our other two runners did go to the Berserk, learning Berserk last minute strat, which unfortunately was at times 1. So yeah, so good on you for deciding to do that and passing on the cyan to get the Genji glove over that.
Yeah, well, it's fun to do every once in a while. Yeah, and Haydn was scary, and Tier 2 was scary, and Tier 3 got scary, but, I
Yeah,
pulled it through in the end, so.
your tier 2 fight was a little rough. I think you had imp, frozen, uh, poisoned realm all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, until, Hit
until ten
decided to,
until hits, yeeted
yeah,
her out of your party.
decided to put her out of her misery, yeah.
Any other final thoughts on the seed before we let you go?
No, I did not expect to get to this point, so GG's to my fellow runners, to Jones and Sid, and thank you so much for streaming this and for your commentary, Saberwolf and Schwantz. Thanks a ton. Thanks everyone for watching.
Not a problem. See you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, let's drag in Jones. Mr. Jones, congratulations on your time. GG 135.56. How you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. Thanks very much.
So you actually went into Kefka's Tower 3 minutes ahead of Dr. DT, finished about 2.5 minutes behind in the final fight. And I think it had to do with the fact that, as you asked in the chat, where were the Atma weapons?
Yeah. I give all of those minutes to Magimaster.
So Magimaster, the real boss of this seed.
Yeah.
As he
especially with
predominantly is.
especially with the Berserk ×1, it took you a few fights
I
to
know.
learn it.
Well, I did that first battle and got 25 MP, and I'm like, all right, this is it. And then it didn't happen, and then I did another one for 25 MP, and it didn't happen. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. 1x? Ah. And I had nothing else. I had no other, like, defense ignoring stuff, or, like, all of my spells were elemental. I didn't have those sweet, sweet Atma weapons, even though I had that offering for half the seed, but,
Yeah, just to rub more salt in the wound, you went to the World of Balance : Jin for your Setzer check. Had you gone to the World of Ruin, you might have visited the weapon shop and found Valiant knives for sale there.
Oh,
Go with your
man.
offering. So, yeah.
I had actually made a note to go back to Jin if I needed to, because I saw Thunder Shields there, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll get Merton, and then I can do this, and that didn't happen either.
Or you could have been like Dr. DT, passing on Cyan to get the Genji glove, and then realizing you had to go back to get Cyan so you could double Atma offering Genji glove.
Well, it's crazy what little decisions can do,
Well, unfortunately, you had last locationed Cyan, right? Were you feeling behind at that point, or did you think that, oh, well, everybody's going to last location Cyan at, basically
Yeah,
Lone
that's
Wolf,
kind
Kefka
of
at Narsh?
that's kind of what I figured. I felt like the Umara, because Umara was 2 dead checks, and I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. And I was like, people may or may not go for that. There's the dragon up there, and you usually get Espers at Tritalk, so maybe they will. But I didn't feel too far behind. I figured the seed was pretty linear, really, and it was like you had to get who you had to get there. So I'm like, well, I feel like it's probably going okay, and I had a pretty quick beginning. So I mean, I
Yeah,
thought,
you took a very, very early Opera House dragon, and then you forgot about it
Yeah,
at the end
yes.
of the scene. So you got thrown off of 3 bridges and thrown out of 1 Opera House. So you're causing a ruckus all over.
I know.
All
Yeah,
over
well,
the world here.
I wasn't making. So I had some activity in my chat, so I was bouncing back and forth, trying to chat with my keyboard while doing stuff, which is probably not the best thing to do while you're racing. But I'm gonna blame that for all my stupid decisions because I also didn't go to Figaro Throne right when I was there, so I had to go back for that Esper too. So, you know, it's all in good fun.
Yeah, it was a very linear seed. It was Go-Go into Edgar into Mog into Cyan.
Yeah. It was yeah. What can you say? I mean, I felt like the jump. At least it gave you some goodies with the jumps, and the spells from the Espers were okay. So, I felt like the last seed on our last pod race was pretty pretty crappy. So, I'll take this one.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It's like, how's this gonna go?
Yeah, so I guess seed rolling is in my future, maybe, depending
Yeah.
upon how bad Badgemaster makes everybody feel.
Yeah, keep up the good work. But I mean, I'm up. This race was up against some really good runners. I mean, I felt like I was. I mean, there was a couple dumb things I did and whatever, but I mean, I felt like the gears were turning pretty good, and to still be this close to the other two. I mean, you know that you're up against some good runners. So GG's big time to Dr. DT. That's a hell of a time. And Sid's doing great too. He's been doing great the whole tournament. So GG's to all those guys.
Yeah, we've seen over 2-hour runs, and all 3 of you are going to be under 2 hours. So yeah, good on all 3 of you, really.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's just a lot of talent in this race, in this tournament. So I feel humbled and lucky to be where I am. So thanks to everybody, and thanks to you guys for doing all the restream, and Saber for picking up and doing the restreaming kind of on your. I mean, the Schwantz, thanks for coming and doing the commentating. But I mean, you guys really just stepped up and went in and did these races. So thanks a lot.
You're welcome. On
Awesome.
vacation all week, so I'll be here.
Hey, there you go.
Well, thank you, Jones, for being you. And Sid finished there.
There he goes.
147.14. GG for Sid. Did I spoil it? I did spoil it. Darn it.
Oh no, you're a half a second. You're a half a second ahead. You're fine.
I'm slightly ahead of the stream. Spoiler alert. So thank you, Jones, and looking forward to seeing you in round 5.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Catch you later. So that was Sid done. That Setzer with that Valiant knife just gave a beating to Kefka before he got gonered to the face. And he went a little risky there with the double jump. Maybe he could have gotten an Ultima, but with 2 people up in the air, it's not as risky. So we'll pull in Sid. Come on. We'll pull in Sid. There we go. My mouse finally works. GG, Sid. Congratulations. 147.14. That was a pretty good time for that very, very linear seed.
Yeah, that's some choice words for that one.
So talk about your Kefka fight. It seemed like Kefka did not like you tonight at all.
Oh, I mean, overall, it didn't really matter since the other 2 finished like while I was on like the transition from T1 to T2.
Yep.
So it's like, whatever it throws at me, it throws at me. But then like T2 started being a little weird, then T3 started being really mean. Like, what's going on? Stop it.
So you were the only runner, I think, that went to World of Ruin Colingen to grab those Valiant knives with the offering. Were you searching for Monster in a Boxes as soon as you saw the Valiant knives for sale in the shop, or was that just something you happened into when you were doing Ancient Castle?
No, that was the plan. Once I saw the Valiant knives, I'm like, okay, well, now I've got a reason for offering if I ever, because I don't know about everybody else, but my weapon set at the beginning was just garbage across the board.
Yeah, I think we had a partisan for Gogo who could jump, maybe, but that's we're stretching it here. You also went and did the Zozo clock, so you ended up getting the dragon boots and dragon horn. There was both of those items for sale. I don't know if you saw both of the places that
I did.
had them or not. Oh, you did. You just
World
you
of
wanted a
Balance
top
Marsh
tier.
had one.
You wanted a top tier item,
Weapon,
top tier
yes.
weapon. Yep.
Because Balance Figaro was boots and Balance Narsh was horn and Atma weapon, which nobody could wear that I wanted to wear.
Yeah, if only you had waited to do that until you did the 2 Yeti checks with the Dragon Horn and the Aura Lance back to back.
Yeah, no,
Dead
it was
checks.
wonderful. I saw that and I'm like, well, there goes 7 minutes or whatever.
Yep.
You,
So when you set the Zozo clock, you also picked an experience egg out of the out of the chest in the clock room, which is pretty awesome. That was egg number 2 for you.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, Realm was doing quad 9s on tier 2 spells, so
yeah,
but
always
she got
good.
took out on tier 2.
Yeah, realm. Only one party realm made it past tier 2 in this particular race, so
Yeah.
it wasn't just you. So
that's good.
So talk about, you went to World of Balance Doma and you picked up Sabin. Were you going to look for character number 9, or did you just think, well, if Dream is dead, then I have quicker choices with Sabin than I do with anything else? It was just like a backup strat.
That was backup, yeah, because I wasn't so sure what I was going to get out of Dream, and I did consider if I did get all my checks out of Dream, I could do Doomgaze check or do the Burning House if I needed to get like either a Magicite or a character. So I was like, I've got a couple options, and ultimately I was like, I just want to do the skip because I'm already super duper behind. I'm feeling it. It was like 115 going into Kefka's Tower.
Yeah, with a pretty linear seed, and last, all of our runners, I think, mostly last locationed their cyan in order to continue on the seed, right? So it was one of those things. You would have skipped out on Goddess. You would have skipped out on Goddess, but you did skate by Goddess, but you didn't. It didn't seem like it was that big of a problem for you.
It ultimately wasn't worth it, but that's how checks go. It was just kind of a backup plan, just in case, because I didn't need another dragon. My levels were already way through the roof with the experience eggs, so it was just checks. That's what I was going for. That Magic Master, though.
Yeah. So you and Jones both decided to learn Berserk. Dr. DT found Atma weapons in World of Balance Narsh, and with an offering, Atma weapon will always hit. So that was his strategy for getting past Magi Master. It saved him time and obviously then won him the race because he didn't have to learn it at a ×1 rate.
Oh, that was awful. My backup plan for that, if I didn't have Berserk, was switch the Valiant Knife off because just about everybody could wear it.
That makes sense. Yep.
I thought most of them weren't swinging hard anyway because they were jumpers. I'm like, I had Realm in the party. I was like, well, she's not gonna do super duper awesome with Valiant Knife, but it would work if I need it.
Yeah, that's part of the bad thing with the jumping seed is that there are certain times when that strategy doesn't work, and that's unfortunately one of the bosses where it doesn't work.
Yep. Very much jumping seed.
Saberwolf, any other final thoughts for Sid before we let him go?
I'm all set. GG to you, Sid. Sorry you're not moving on, though, but GG's to you, buddy.
It happens. Happens to the best of us. Happens to just about everybody. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the races and cheering on whoever gets through Spicy Chicken. It is a tough pod.
Yeah, definitely. I was saying, I think before this round, I think all of the runners on stream either won or came in second for all of the other races in this pod. So it was definitely the 3 best out of this pod. So based on the previous seeds, obviously.
Oh, for sure. I mean, saw that going in. Like, this one's gonna be scary.
Yep.
And it was.
Well, GG Sid, and again, congratulations on making it all the way to round 4, and we'll hope to catch you on another one.
Yeah, thanks. GG's. Till next time.
All right. Well, Saberwolf, I don't think we have much else going on. You want to give us a rundown and get us out of here?
Sure. So if you're interested in more some Worlds Collide this week, we got you covered because coming up here and the rest later on, moving over to Wednesday now, March 23rd at 10 p.m. Eastern again. That is going to be the Ultros pod. That's your pod, actually, I believe. That's going to be back over on Speed Gaming. Not sure which channel will be on, so stay tuned. Sometimes some of the races on scheduled channels run over, and we'll go to a backup channel. But that will again be Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And on Thursday, right back here on Worlds Collide, March 24th, that is going to be the Inferno Pod. And I believe we have another race coming up on Saturday. That's in the works, so we got another pod on Saturday. There's 7 pods total. We've already covering like 7 of them. 1 of them already ran. So we are narrowing it down to our top 14 runners here before we go into the grand finals. So cannot wait for that.
Yep, definitely should be fun. And thanks everybody for hanging out in the Twitch chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube, hello from the past, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Goodbye and enjoy.
See ya.